Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was Kaguya, Forgotten Son, and Saved by Kami. Part 4 guys. If you enjoy this and want to see part 5, go ahead and comment down below and tell me you want part 5, and I'll be posting it as soon as possible for you guys to enjoy. And also if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels: Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince guys, which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and destroy that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for your help and your support. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Fuse with Minato, Kushina, and Kurama guys. And also over in Anime King 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Sent to the Marvel Universe, so go ahead and enjoy that. And I also post a brand new episode of Naruto with Godly Weapons, so go ahead and enjoy that as well guys. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro. So the last spot we left off, as the group made their way inside the room as Naruto was fine. The doctors were unable to find what was wrong with him. Whatever was wrong with him was never documented. It seems like he was the first one to ever have this. His body was spasming badly for a moment, and after a while it just relented and relaxed. They have no idea what was wrong with him, or how to fix him, or even know if it was going to happen again. However, for now he was fine, there was nothing wrong with him. But the girls were still worried. He had to demand that they go and get some rest because he would not leave his side. As Naruto asked Hiruzen and Kakashi if he was dying, but they really did not know what was happening to him. However, Naruto said that he would not die no matter what. He would make it through this. He did not come this far to die so early. Some time passes. Mizuki went to steal a forbidden scroll with another group. He meant 4 other people. As the girls made their way out, as they proceed to track down Mizuki and the others, Yasaka using her sentry ability as he came across them, they split up. The 3 girls proceed to decimate Mizuki and its 2 accomplices. The last one had made his way to the hospital to gather some records, and not to mention some information as well that he believed would be good for their master. However, he came across none other than Naruto. Naruto pulled him through the wall of the building before branching knocked the crap out of him. As the envoys and Kakashi arrived, Kakashi couldn't expect nothing less. As they were taken away, a week passed after that. As Naruto was back on his feet, there was no sign that nothing was wrong with him, so they started their missions. As Hiruzen had a mission for them, he told them to be careful on this one, though the man was acting a bit strange. Hiruzen has been a ninja for a long while, and he could tell that something didn't seem fully right. However, he was sure that he could handle this, so with that they made their way towards the Land of Leaf. While that was going on, the other rookies were gathered as they were speaking amongst one another. Their senseis were there to talk to them as well. Yamato being a sensei as well, as he was not used to it though. He was used to being in the shadows as an envoy. As Kurina and Asuma talked to him about that, Kiba wanted to know if there was any other rookie team stronger than them. As they told him about Team 7, Sasuke did not even know that his own sister was on this team. He was so far out of her life he knew nothing about her or what she was even doing. But he wanted to see these members for himself, and he wanted to see how strong they are and how well they match up. As for Team 7, they came across the Demon Brothers. As Naruto and Yasaka were arguing about which one of them get to fight the both of them, like they did not even matter, because they really did not, as they decimate them like they were nothing at all. They then proceeded to continue the missions they made their way off, which Tezuna was grateful for, as they came across Zabuza. Before Genins moved out, Zabuza underestimated them as they beat the living crap out of him. At first, as he started to get into the swing of things, but even so, he slashed Naruto with his blade. But to his surprise, he was barely able to cut his skin. These were definitely not normal kids. Haku had to come as she stopped the fight by injuring Zabuza, faking his death as she took his body. Hinata, however, attacked her, as she could see the needles as they did not kill him. But Haku disappeared as Sunshin, running off with Zabuza as fast as possible. Kakashi said that next time he will handle it, which the team was not pleased about. While they didn't defeat him in their turn, they made their way back to the house. As they sat down and talked with the family, there was an altercation between Iniere and Yasaka as she made her way out. As Iniere felt rather remorseful as he never knew that other people had such a difficult life. Naruto also came across Haku as well. As she was picking herbs, he knew it was her as he told her. As she hoped they didn't have to fight. He hoped that as well, but if they come after him and his team, he was gonna fight. Things went problematic though when Naruto started to spasm once again, as Kakashi came back with him. This time it was worse than ever, as Hinata was able to see it was affecting his bones. His chakra was destroying his bones. Something was wrong. As Yasaka made a move, when Naruto woke up, he couldn't feel his chakra. As Yasaka had sealed it off, he was angry at her to release him. However, she told him that she was not going to, even if he hated her. As she used his feelings against him, told him that he promised to stay with her. As Naruto hated to see her sad, he hated to see her cry, so he relented. As the girls outside know what she did and they didn't like that. But she said that she did not care. If it means protecting him, if it means even him hating her, she would do it. As she was gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that he was safe, even if it means he was angry at her forever. The next morning, Team 7 went out, as Zabuza attacked once again, but he was not alone this time. As Naruto went out and destroyed the two bandits that tried to take Iniere and Tsunami. Even with his chakra sealed off, he was still ridiculously powerful. As Naruto made his way, as he told him to go inside. Chakra or not, he was gonna help. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the play, check out for yourself, and also guys, remember to go ahead and check out the other watches on other channels. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. On the bridge, Yasaka grit her teeth as she blocked another volley of senbons, as a few of them slipped through her guard and stabbed her. She was currently in the middle of an ice dome, fighting the 100 Nin. I am not sure where Naruto-san is, but it's a weight off my chest, Haku thought, glad that he was not here. As Yasaka, chains came out as it deflected the rest of the senbons. Her infused wind blade could not completely cut through the mirrors. She certainly hoped the rest of her team was not having as bad luck as she was. On another part of the bridge, Kakashi clashed his kunai against a gigantic blade. I gotta say Kakashi, I was looking forward to a rematch against your brats, but I suppose that you can do. Kakashi steered at Zabuza through the mist, his Sharingan spinning. Well, you might just get that chance on my team. Take your associates down. Sorry to say Kakashi, but they won't get the chance. You're down a man in Haku. It's about just done playing with your blonde brat. Once she's done and I'm done with you, the other two will be a piece of cake. Meanwhile, Hinata blasted back another pair of thugs with her ear palm. As Gato thugs, a large amount of them had came on the bridge, trying to interfere. She was stopping them. Yuako had her own problem to deal with as well. Damn it, would you hold still, you little bitch? A ninja with a hidden rain headband. He was holding on to a lightning blade as he swung it towards her. Yuako carefully watched him with her Sharingan, Aoi Rokusho. Former Konoha ninja who stole the Raijin blade of a second and defected towards the hidden rain. I'm sure that we will get a sizable bonus for taking you down. As she dodged a downward swing before she kicked him in the chest, sending him flying back. He landed hard as he groaned in pain. Alright, time to take you seriously, he said. Before he could move, Naruto leaped over him, springing off his head as he rushed towards the center of the bridge. Hinata shook her head. Should have known. Yuako nodded as she settled into her fighting stance. Hopefully, he can convince Yasaka to remove the seal. Meanwhile, damn you, said Yasaka. I'll break these mirrors, if it's the last thing I do. As Haku brandished more senbons. Please, by all means, by the time you manage, I would have killed you. As she tossed more. Move, you moron, Naruto yelled. As he tackled Yasaka out of the way, the senbons embedded in the ground. Yasaka stood up. Why are you here, she said. I told you to rest. Naruto reached out and grabbed her by the collar as she gasped. Listen up, because I won't say this twice. I'm gonna keep being a shinobi, and I'm not gonna die. If you really think that I'm gonna die because of something as stupid as a chest pain, then you really don't know me as well as you think you do. So take this damn seal off or we're both gonna die. She gritted her teeth as she shook her fist in anger. Tears gathered in her eyes. Fine, she said, but I'm putting it back right after this. I still refuse to let you die, she said. Her hand lit up in chakra, focusing on her fingertips. Just before she could unlock the seal though, a pair of senmon flew through the air and hit her right in the neck as she collapsed. As Naruto looked down towards her, unblinking, unmoving, as Haku voiced and spoke up, I'm sorry, but I hope you can understand. Is this the first time you lost someone? Well, don't worry, you won't be living with it for too long. Everything seemed to slow down, as Naruto only heard the beating of his own heart. Before, everything went so painful. White hot scalding pain burning through his veins. His condition flared up, stronger than ever before. His chakra burned against the seal as Naruto gripped his chest before he collapsed to his knees, panting heavily as he blacked out. Naruto blinked as he opened his eyes. He was in some kind of ballroom, like one of those in a storybook, a children's storybook. It looked elegant. Elegant furnitures, decorating the place. There was a single table in the center with 2 chairs on each side, as Naruto looked down as he was wearing an expensive black suit. Fancy shoes. Fancy tie. What the hell? Where am I? Did I die too? He asked himself. Shit! He cursed as he stomped his feet. Now. There's no need for that language. You're not dead. I only wish to talk to you. Not that it really matters. You won't remember any of this anyway. Naruto's eyes snapped up as he saw a woman. Her beauty was something that could not really be described. It was beyond anything that he's ever witnessed before. However, she had this feeling like complete warmth and nourishment. He couldn't describe it either, but it felt so safe. Please, sit down, Naruto-chan, she said. As his leg just walked, as he sat down without even thinking about it. As she poured some tea for them, she drank some. As Naruto looked at it, it's not poison, she said. You have my word. As Naruto blinked, as he looked up at her fully. How do I know that your word is worth anything, he said, as he disregarded the feeling that he was feeling from her. Who are you? Where are we? That's not important. We're here to talk about you, Naruto-chan. I want to talk to you about some things. Your responses will determine whether you live or die. Yeah, I love to, but I gotta go. My friends need me, said Naruto. He got up and started to walk. The woman sighed. You're very stubborn to know that. I guess you get that from your mother. As Naruto paused and looked towards her, he sighed and walked back towards the table. Okay, you got my attention. So, let's talk. Also, I know your threat is hollow. I'm already dying from some disease, and I know that. Oh, it's no disease, she said. Your body is just breaking one of the seals I placed on you. Wait, what? You put seals on me? Where? Said Naruto. Oh, there's no need for you to search. If I put a seal on you, no one would ever find it, including you. Now this seal is breaking and trying to give you a trait of your mother's that has been holding back. The pain you feel is the seal cracking and breaking. So if I do not remove the seal naturally, you will die. Anyway, back to what I was saying earlier. I want to know what drives you, Naruto-chan. To paraphrase Haku-chan, tell me, why do you fight? As Naruto stared at her, you're giving away a lot of information here, he said. I already told you, she said. You won't remember this. Now tell me, why do you fight? Naruto groaned as he leaned back. I don't know, he said. I've thought about it over the past few days, but I can't think of anything. Tell me then, she said. Why did you run towards the bridge to help them? Even though you knew there was a high possibility of you dying, you still went anyway. I wanted to help them, nothing more, nothing less. They're my friends. They don't need me to protect them, but I still want to be there for them. Naruto says he swirled his tea in his cup before he took a sip. She smiled at him. There are many forms of protection, Naruto-chan. They may not be a knight in a shining armor, but at least, not always, but you mean more to them than you can even imagine. So if you can't live for yourself, then live for them. You're still young. You don't have to have your life and motivations figured out yet. As Naruto returned a smile he didn't know why, but this woman made him feel so relaxed. Thanks, that actually helps. So if it's not too much trouble, could you take the seal off and make me go and help my friends? I would be happy to, she said. However, there will be a price. As Naruto raised the eyebrow at that, in exchange for taking your seal off, someone you know will die. I won't tell you who, but you'll be trading your life for theirs. As a horrified look came on his face. Well, there's nothing to be afraid of. You won't remember this anyways. Naruto pulled back. No deal, he said. Surprising even her. I can't accept this. I would kill myself before I take the life of an innocent to save my own. She raised a delicate eyebrow. Well, I'm sure you'd be better off without some of them. What about Yasaka? She stole your chakra from you. She dared to take something that belongs to you. That chakra is yours, and how dare she take it from you? Don't you want her dead for that? Naruto slammed his hand on the table. Never, he said. I don't like it when she did that, but I would do anything to never see her in pain like that ever again. Seeing her cry like that, it tore at me, knowing that it was me who broke her strong image and make her go back to the side of herself that she hated. It made me feel terrible, and I've already made up my mind. I'm going to be there for her no matter what happens. As Naruto looked down, at least I would have, but she's dead. I failed her. The woman shook her head. Calm down, she said. You should have realized that Haku only placed her in a death-like state. Naruto shot up, a look of relief on his face. Thank Kami, he said. You're welcome, she said. Wait, what? Said Naruto. As she chuckled a bit. I think I know all I need to know. You're a good boy, and I think I'll let you keep one thing from our talk. Wait, I have questions about my mother, about you, about a ton of stuff, said Naruto. She held up her hand. Remember, you will only remember one thing from this. Right now you have somewhere else to be. Take care of the girls and live a good life. She tapped him on the forehead before he could say anything as it vanished. As Kami turned, I like him no matter what you say, she said, looking at Yami. I will also unlock another ability of his. Whether he figured it out or not is up to him. Back on the bridge, the Senbon was pushed out of Yasaka's neck by a red energy. As Haku noticed that, Yasaka blinked as she opened her eyes. Naruto, she said, crawling towards him. However, she was blown back. A violent wave of chakra exploded out of him. Her seal was gone within seconds, as his entire body was shrouded in chakra. As Naruto did not know what happened as he heard a voice in his head. If you can't live for yourself, live for them. He looked over towards Yasaka, as she picked herself up slowly. Hey, sorry to worry you, he said, but I think I'll be fine now. Yasaka was stunned for a few seconds until she caught sight of something. Look out, she yelled. The Senbons hit Naruto's skin, however, they fell off, ricocheting off him like his body was made of steel. Haku was stunned, as she couldn't believe it, as 6 dark, grey bones started to emerge from his back, curving upwards and downwards. A small pair of horns grew from his temples, as they curved around a bit. As Naruto rolled his neck, as he bounced on the ball of his heel before, a bone came from his hand. As it stretched from his palm before he pulled it out, it was long like a staff. You know, maybe not grabbing a shirt was actually a good thing, he said. This is weird as hell, and he kind of itches. Oh well, I'll figure it out. He turned back to Yasaka. Just relax, Yasaka-chan, he said. This will be over in no time. As Naruto spun his staff around as he gripped it tightly. Yasaka, put up a barrier on yourself. You're still weak from those Senbons. And this could get pretty hot, said Naruto, as he flicked his staff and it slammed right onto the ground. Yasaka sniffled a bit. Seen him alright. I don't know what happened to you, but if you lose, I'll bring you back alive and kill you myself, she said. Her chain shot up around her, forming a dome. A barrier of chakra formed between them, leaving enough space for her to be able to see through. As Naruto shot forward, Haku brought the mirror up as Naruto slammed right into it. The thing cracked, causing a grin to come on Naruto's face. Don't get too cocky, Haku said. The mirror reformed, but slower than last time. She brandished more senbons as she started to fly through the mirrors, bombarding Naruto with a torrent of needles. They only penetrate the surface of his skin, but they could not get through. Haku could not harm him, and she was running away from him with her mirrors, so she had no choice as he dropped the ice mirrors. It was just sapping her chakra. Seems we're at a stalemate. We'll have to settle this the old-fashioned way, she said. As the two squared off, Naruto spoke. So, exactly how did you fall in? With Zabuza anyway, he said. She saw no harm in the question as she indulged him. Zabuza-sama saved my life. Do you know of the bloodline purges in Kira, she asked. As Naruto nodded, she continued. I am from the Yuki clan. I activated my Hayaton Kick Genkai. My mother told me to never use it. However, it was too late. My father was a die-hard supporter of the Mizukage, and he killed my mother. He would have killed me if I did not kill him first. As Naruto listened in silent, I was homeless. I had nothing left to live for, until Zabuza-sama found me. He saw my worth and he trained me. He took care of me. He always told me I was his tool, his weapon. But he wouldn't give his weapon the last of his food, when it meant that he didn't have any. He saved my life though. He took care of me when I was weak. When I had nothing, he gave me a purpose, so I will do whatever it takes to help him. I see, said Naruto, as he saw how motivated she was toward his cause. I wished it didn't have to go this way. As they moved forward, they clashed staff against Senbon. It was very obvious that Naruto had the advantage in strength. She created a few water clones to even the odds as they resumed their fight. However, it was still not going anywhere. She flashed her hand sign as a pillar of water shot from the ocean down below. A dragon was formed with glowing yellow eyes. Naruto stabbed his staff down before he flashed her hand sign. He created an earth wall in front of him. It cracked under the assault, but it did not break through. All the water that splashed over the wall turned into needles as Haku sent her chakra forward. They all slammed into Naruto's back with great force. However, he shook it off as he created a clone. Water along with electricity. The attack broke right through Naruto's earth wall. Haku saw the thing coming as she rushed forward and held out her hand. She froze the water, however. The electricity shocked her, she grit her teeth. But her plan worked, as a beautiful sculpture was there after she had done, freezing the water entirely. She didn't have time though as a clone flashed behind her and grabbed her in a hole. The real Naruto flipped over the sculpture as he rushed down it. His hand was covered in lightning. His hand was carved in a trench in the ice as he ran. Once he reached her, he pulled his hand back and thrust forward. Chidori! She prepared herself, as she knew that this was the end. However, the lightning stopped right in front of her. She opened her eyes confused, as she saw Naruto twist his hand. Shogi, he said. The lightning jumped from his hand and slammed into her. Instead of piercing through her, it electrified her, and the clone as well. The clone dispelled as Haku grit her teeth in pain. Sorry, Haku-chan, said Naruto, as Naruto's fist came and destroyed her mask, throwing her backwards as she crashed onto the bridge. Over towards the other side, Kakashi was worried, as he had felt the large surge of Naruto chakra. But his Sharingan was able to see that he was alive in there, but he wasn't sure what was going on. As he looked to see the dome fill apart, a small smirk came underneath his mask. Well, looks like your apprentice couldn't handle my brats, he said. Zabuza growled. Don't get too confident, Kakashi. I don't know why Haku released the technique, but the results will still be the same. He appeared in front of Kakashi and slashed right at him, but Kakashi flipped back. The Zabuza in front of him burst into water though, as he felt cold steel against his back. Slash! He was slashed across the back, forcing him to stagger forward. Come on, Kakashi. This won't be any fun if you keep on getting distracted. Kakashi narrowed his eyes as he pulled a small scroll. Well then, I guess I'll need to end this quickly. Pricking his finger with a kunai, he swiped his hand across the scroll. He then went through a small chain of hand signs before he slammed his hand down. A sealing matrix spread from Kakashi's hand as Zabuza jumped back into the mist. Once the technique ended, it seems like nothing was summoned. Well, it seems that didn't pan out as you thought, huh, Kakashi? Said Zabuza. His voice coming around from everywhere. Actually, said Zabuza. It worked, just as I planned. Zabuza's eyes widened as he saw the shadow behind him. He yelled in pain as a rather large dog bit on his arm. They weren't alone as more dogs broke through, biting onto his legs and arms to hold him there in place. Kakashi walked towards him. You may be behind your presence, but these guys can sniff you out, no matter how good you are at hiding. Especially when you got my blood on you. The fight was stopped as Haku was thrown and crashed right in the center of them. Zabuza turned towards Naruto as he saw. Damn it. I hate being right, he thought to himself as he saw the bones. Hinata and Iwako then joined them, as Iwako was holding on to the right-hand blade. What happened to you two? Said Naruto. Flashback. Aoi looked around wondering who just used his head like a springboard. He shook his head as he focused back on the girl. He rushed towards her as he swiped, however she dodged, before she lashed out and caught his wrists. He grimaced in pain as she started to burn his hand. As he pulled a kunai in the other hand as he stabbed towards her, forced her to slip back. You should give up, she said. The Raijin is the only thing that you have, effective in your arsenal, and you're not even good at using it. He grit his teeth before he smirked, as he pulled the umbrella. He then tossed it in the air. She looked up. Senbon started to rain out of it. She weaved through them, as she sent out waves of heated air to knock some of them off course. Aoi had rushed in as he came in front of her once she was done, as he tried to stab her. She moved to the side though as she chopped him right where she burned, as he was forced to release the blade. Her fist became covered in flames as she shot it right towards his chest. Once her fist made contact, the fire disappeared. Aoi was thrown back like a speeding bullet. The jet of fire had shot right from her fist, right into him. He slammed into the metal railing, his back denting the railing. He was dead, a hole in his chest where she had hit him. She walked and picked up the blade. As for Hinata, calm down, Tazuna-san, she said. You'll be fine. There was only 5 thugs left out of the large amount, as she threw another one off the bridge. As Iwako gave her a nod, saying that she was going to protect the client. There was no more need for her to be cautious. She ended the thugs in a matter of seconds. Once she was done, Iwako walked over. We better go meet up with the others, it seems. Like everything is coming to an end. Hinata said to her, Good, because I'm hungry. You're always hungry, Iwako, said Hinata. End of flashback. We just fought a few nobodies. Looks like you had an interesting time, said Iwako. Hinata immediately started to check the both of them over. Alright, Yasaka. You'll be okay after some rest, she said. As for you, as she looked over Naruto with her byakugan gun, I've never seen anything like this before. Your bone is all that dark grey color, and its structure has changed. It looked like it has turned to armor underneath your skin, guarding your organs and veins like a fortress, while still allowing full range of mobility. I know what it is. Everyone turned towards Zabuza. I could be persuaded to tell you what it is, provided I have your word that Haku will not be harmed. Iwako, who was busy restraining Haku, spoke up. So your condition was caused by whatever this is, activating. I guess so. What proof do we have that you're not lying though, said Naruto, as he looked towards Zabuza. The Mizukage require everyone to read upon all the Kekigenkai in Kire to prepare for the bloodline purges. So how about it, Kakashi? What I know could help him to learn it a lot quicker. I don't give a damn what you do with me. Just let Haku go once this is all over. Kakashi did not see any deception in the man's eyes. He actually cared about Haku a lot. Fine, you have a deal. Now talk. Zabuza smirked under his bandages. It's called the Shiatsu Mayaku, and it's from the Kaguya clan. The Kaguyas were kind of infamous in Kiri. They attacked the village to prove their strength, and they ended up getting slaughtered. You could say that is what hit the purges off. Even till the end, those cycles were smile-like, bloodthirsty monsters. If I remember right, the bloodline is incredibly rare, and the only way to tell if one has it is if they have pure white hair. Damn it, said Naruto. I find out about my family and it turns out that they're a bunch of crazy assholes. Also, that doesn't tell me how to use it. Zabuza chuckled a bit. Too bad. We made a deal. Well, as informative as this is, said Kakashi as he went through hand sign, it's time to end this. As Zabuza grinned under his bandages, I'm not afraid to die. You just make sure that you keep that deal, otherwise I'll crawl out of hell itself and come back for all of you. Before any one of them could move though, clapping could be heard. They all turned to see Gato walking towards them. This time he had an army of thugs behind him. Seems like I can't count on you for anything, huh, Zabuza, said. As he stood there smirking at all of them. I know that you're all weakened. These men should be more than enough to take you out. Everyone was silent. Is he serious? Said Yasaka, as Zabuza looked back towards Kakashi. Well, seems like we aren't enemies anymore. Would you mind, he said. Kakashi sighed. After all the damn dramatics. Thank you guys, he said. That will be enough. I'll get you some stuff as thanks when we get back to Konoha. Release. The dogs were all gone. Zabuza groaned as he rolled his shoulder. It was at that moment Haku woke up. She saw her master. She rushed towards him. Zabuza-sama, she said. I'm so sorry. I'll make this right. I promise. Haku, he said. Calm down. Gato betrayed us. So we're no longer the Konoha ninja enemies anymore. Haku blinked as she turned to see Gato and his thugs. As a frigid smile came on her face. Then I'll make the Senbon through the hand. Seems like child's play, she said. Gato grit his teeth. Kill them all, he said. He backed up as his arm moved forward, confident that he could overwhelm them with sheer numbers. Iyasaka growled as red chakras started to overtake her. Her eyes turned red with slits in them. As Haku turned towards the girl. Is that... Are you a Jinjuliki, she said. At Iyasaka nod, Haku gulped. Why didn't you use that in our fight, she asked. Well, I was about to, but then Naruto-kun arrived on the scene, she said. I don't think that is gonna take too long, said Yuako as steam started to roll off her body. By the way, sensei, you might want this, she said. I was gonna give it to Naruto-kun, but he has his bone weapons now. She tossed the Raijin to Kakashi who caught it. He channeled his chakra into it. A glowing, blue blade springing to life. Better than Aoi could ever even imagine. Well, I suppose the second Hokage wouldn't mind if I use it just this once, he said. Then Shinobis rushed forward as he attacked the army. Gato started to back away in fear as he realized that his army of thugs were not able to stand up to Shinobis. One after another, his army of thugs were being whittling down. Members were dropping like flies. He started to run until someone appeared in front of him. As he slammed in the person and fell back, his short stubby legs flipping all over to get back to his feet. So, where do you think you're going? Said Naruto. Please, don't kill me. I can give you whatever you want. Money, women, anything. I swear, he said. Naruto spun his staff, but it snapped into half and crumbling to dust. As he raised eyebrows at that. Huh, he said as he looked back down towards Gato. As Naruto pointed his finger towards the man. What are you doing? I said I'll give you whatever you want. Bam. A spike shot from his finger, piercing through Gato's skull. Damn, it works, said Naruto. Seems I can fire them as well. Tazuna, who was on the sidelines of everything, finally walked over towards the group. So, is it over? He said, looking around, not seeing any more threats that would be able to cause them any more problems. They heard the marching of more feet as they looked up. As it was another army, but this army was led by Inyari. They looked around the bridge at the bodies. As they saw the body of Gato, did we miss the whole thing? He said, as he held onto a crossbow. Hinata chuckled. It would appear so, Inyari-kun, she said. I'm exhausted, said Naruto as he started to walk back. Tsunami looked at him. Are you alright, Naruto-san? She said, seeing his new look. Yeah, just a growth spurt, said Naruto. Iwaka walked over and poked Naruto in the horn. Can you get rid of these stuff? She said, as she looked over the spikes on his back. They might be a problem, she said. I have no idea, said Naruto, as he waved it off. I'll figure it out later, he said. Time skip 3 weeks later. The weeks in Nami had passed, as the people were able to enjoy a happiness that they haven't felt in a long while. Gato thugs went down, all of his people were gone. His mansion was left wide open, so they were able to redistribute the wealth back to the town. As Team 7 and their new guests spent the time guarding the bridge and relaxing. Iyasaka looked towards Naruto a bit confused. His horns and spikes were gone. That's your 5th glass of milk this morning. Are you okay? She asked. Yep, just trying to make my bloodline stronger, said Naruto. She tilted her head confused. Well, milk helps build strong bones, so it should be vital for my technique, said Naruto. I'm not sure that is how it works, said Hinata, who was sitting next to him. That's stupid, your bones are straightened by your chakra. Milk doesn't do anything, said Yasaka. Since when were you an expert, said Naruto. You know as much about it as we do, even if it is your Genkai. Fine then, let's ask the expert. Zabuza, does milk make the bloodline stronger, said Naruto. How the hell should I know, said Zabuza from upstairs. Just shut up and let me nap. As he groaned, damn kids. Yasaka looked towards Hinata, who nodded, as she got up and left the two of them. There's something I should have said already. Yet I've been holding it off for the past few weeks. As Naruto looked towards her. I'm sorry, she said. I shouldn't have sealed her chakra and tried to make you resign. I was just so afraid of living my life without you. I couldn't even think about what you wanted. I was selfish, and made you use your promise to do what I wanted. And I'm sorry, she said, bowing her head. As Naruto reached forward and patted her on the head. I already forgave you, Yasaka-chan, he said. I shouldn't have talked about letting myself die. I know that despite your attitude, you care for me, and I care for you a lot as well. At least now we know that I'll be sticking around for a lot longer, he said. She turned away with a smile, trying to hide her small blush. Thanks, she said. I better get going, she said. I need to remove the seals from the outside before we leave. As he smiled at her, as Naruto leaned back. Yeah, the mission might have started off boring, but it was pretty good, and he felt like it was just what they needed. Hinata then poked him in the side, her hand covered in chakra, as Naruto was rather annoyed. I spent the last week being your science experiment. No more, said Naruto. I'm not experimenting. I'm taking notes on the changes to make sure I'll be able to better heal you next time, if it is needed. You should be happy that it's me doing this, and not the hospital back home. And I told you, I wanted to see if you change back to your normal skeleton structure when you're not on guard. It doesn't, by the way. Gee, thanks, said Naruto, as she returned back to her notebook writing down something. By the way, how did you get rid of the spikes and horns? I just channeled some chakra into them. Then I pulled the chakra back, imagining the spikes and horn being pulled with them. And it did. They chatted for a little while until the others came back. Tsunami came from the kitchen, more happier than ever. Alright, it's ready, she said. Haku-san, would you mind grabbing Zabuza-san? It's time for lunch. As Haku gave her a nod and made her way upstairs. The group spoke until they heard, I'm not hungry. Zabuza-sama, we're guests in their house, and if they ask us down for lunch, it's common courtesy to join them. Too bad. I want a nap and polish my blade, and you can't stop me. The place was silent for a while until a loud slap could be heard. As they heard footsteps coming down, Haku's face was one of serenity. Calm as usual, however, Zabuza was snarling, as he didn't have his face bandage on, showing his sharpened teeth. As Nami shared out the food right there, as everyone started to dig in. After a while, Kakashi asks, so have you thought about what you're gonna do? Isn't there a rebellion going on in Kiri? Yeah, I'll probably just keep on wondering. I would go and enlist with the rebels, but 90% of the people there don't trust me one bit. A ton of them would be all too happy just to kill me and keep my blade. Haku nodded. I'm not too happy to enlist in the war either. Besides, where's Zabuza-sama go? I go. Iwako looked up. You wanna come to Konoha with us, she said, as everyone else paused. If you don't have anywhere else to go then, why not? It's not uncommon for rogue shinobi to fall in with another village. As Naruto nodded, plus, we know Hokage Jiji, so we can vote for you. After all, living on the run must be pretty rough. Hey Yasaka-chan, isn't the apartment next to us open? When we left it was. Not a ton of people want to live next to Demon Girl, she said, with a shrug. I'm sure you both will love Konoha, as the heiress of the Hyuga clan. Me vouching for you too will do wonders, Hinata said. Haku had a bright smile, but she kept her composure. I would love to. It would be so nice to have a home to live in. Zabuza, however, was a bit miffed about it. Hold on, Haku. Don't go talking like it's already decided, he said. Even if I was to take your offer, how do I know that you'll keep your word? How do I know that you're not trying to trick us? Yasaka raised the eyebrow. Do you usually nap and sleep around people that you don't trust? As Zabuza's eye twitched. I personally don't care if you come, but Haku has become a friend of ours. and we would love if she became our comrade. As he could not see any light coming from them, and he could also feel Haku's eyes burning, holes inside of his head. Fine, you convince me, plus, we don't have anywhere else to go. As Haku's smile widened at that, as they returned back to their meal, Tazuna was finding the whole thing a bit surreal. Less than a month ago, these two people were out for his blood. And now, look how things have changed so much. Still, he wasn't going to complain. Looks like we're all done. Let's head down to the bridge and open it for business, he said. They helped clean up as they made their way down. The workers had went beyond and above after the death of Gato to finish the bridge. With the help of the shinobis and their clones, it got done even faster as everyone stood at the high Nikune end of the bridge. The villagers there to see them off. Enir grinned brightly at them. You guys will come back to visit us sometime, right? He said. As Naruto gave him a thumbs up, of course. We might not be able to come back quickly. We have work and all, but we'll definitely come back to visit. Yasaka roughly said that smile. Look after your mom and Gigi, alright? She said. As the group waved goodbye, someone asked, hey, what's the name of the bridge? As Tazuna told them, Tazuna, awesome bridge of liberation, he said. As the people disputed that immediately, he started to sulk. As Enir walked over, how about the 7-star bridge, he said. 7-star? Well, they're team 7, right? And plus, it's now 7 of them, and they got rid of Gato and their man. And they're pretty much heroes here for what they did. You know, that's not bad, said Tazuna. The 7-star bridge, he said, as the people thought about it before they started cheer. The 7-star bridge, they said. Time skip. A couple days later, the Eternal Gate Guards were partaking in their least favorite job. Well, it was in their name, the Eternal Gate Guards. However, they were relieved from their boredom when Naruto slammed into the ground in front of them. He slid along the ground for a few feet, legs in the air, before he came to a stop. They sat there looking at him for a second. As he pulled himself up, that was dirty, he yelled. The rest of his team walked up, the girls sporting smirks, as Yasaka came over and poked his cheek. No, it wasn't, she said. The bet is that the first person through the gate has to buy dinner, and you were the first through the gate. That is because the second that Sensei said it, you all ganged up and threw me. Hinata giggled behind her hand. However it happened, you lost the bet, Naruto-kun. Ramen sound good, said Yuako, earned a winning smile from Yasaka. Kutetsu shook his head at Team 7 antics. Never a dull day with them around, is it, he said. You got that right, said Izumo. As Kakashi walked over, Team 7 reporting back with 2 guests. Sure thing, Kakashi. So who are the guests? It was in the Kutetsu saw. Zabuza Momokai. Don't worry, Haku said. Zabuza-sama will behave, right? He looked away. She was treating him like he didn't know how to behave himself. I take it you got one hell of a story to tell. Right, Kakashi, said Izumo. Definitely. So we're gonna make a beeline to Hokage's tower, if you don't mind. Kutetsu nodded. Yeah, no problem, just... You remember procedure, right? A few envoys dropped down, surrounding Zabuza. Zabuza tensed as he moved closer to Haku. Stay close to me, Haku, he said. As Naruto walked over, don't worry. It's standard procedure for any unexpected foreign shinobi to get an envoy escort through the village. As they made their way, civilians wonder what the fuss was about. Shinobis recognizing Zabuza and wisely choosing to stay out of the way. Once they arrived at the Hokage Tower, there was more envoys there, watching the both of them like they were hawks. Once they arrived, the secretary punched in as she pressed on the intercom. Hokage-sama, Team 7 arriving with envoy escort and unexpected guest, she said. Send them in, Shizuka, Harrison Boy said through the speaker. They all moved into his office as he just finished up a few forms, as the 7 of them lined up in front of him. Alright, Team 7, he said. What madness have you brought upon me today? He took a second look up at the group, and then at Zabuza and Haku, as he sighed. You're all gonna be dead of me, he said. So they spent the next hour or two detailing their mission progress towards Naminakune, from the Demon Brother attacks, and from Naruto bloodline. Said bro user making his horns sprout out of his head, and a bone spike in his hand to prove it. Harrison sat through everything for a long minute, as he just waited there. Once they were done, he pulled out his pipe, as he lit it up before he took a draw in, and then exhale the smoke. Just when I think you all can't surprise me anymore, you gone once again and did it. So, Zabuza-san, you wish to join Konoha ranks? Zabuza nodded. I got tired of being a wandering rogue ninja, and the brat said that they would vouch for us. Haku here was never a shinobi, so she won't be listed. She has only ever followed me. As Haku bowed her head, we will submit to whatever test you have for us. We would just like to be a part of our home village once more. I also have a scroll of my mother, Yuki clan techniques, so I can teach or rebuild them. Here if you allow. She said, sweetening the deal. Hiruzen stared into Zabuza's eyes with a look. As he looked at the both of them, an intense gaze that made the demon of the mist cower. As Hiruzen had this look on his face, the room was a bit tense. The old man can be really, well, scary when you want it to be. Very well, he said. You will have to talk to our T&I division. Rest assured you will not be harmed if you comply with them. If they clear you, you will be on watch for 3 months. You will be free to train and wander around the village. However, you will be restricted from Anvu headquarters, along with certain sections of the Hokage's tower. After that period is over, you will have a 6-month stretch where you can take missions and gain access to the previous restricted areas, but you will not be leading missions until it is over. You also will not be trusted with village secrets until I say so. These conditions are non-negotiable. Understood, he said. Zabuza nodded. Yes, Hokage-sama, he said. Very good. As for you, Miss Haku, you said that you're Zabuza's apprentice, so you'll have to share the same obligations. Haku bowed again with a smile, simply happy to not be on the run once again. Now to you 5, he said, turning back to Team 7. Naruto-kun, you certainly don't do things halfway, do you? What can I say, JJ? I was just as surprised as you are. The elder shinobi gave a smile. Well, you all had a long mission. Take a week off. Also, since you vouched for Zabuza and Haku, you're in charge of getting them somewhere to live. Now, to the things I know you don't like, Naruto. To the hospital with you. What? Oh, come on. Hinata-chan poked and prodded at me while we were at Naminakuni. Can't we just give them her notes? Reading and seeing are 2 different things. Besides, with her notes, you should be out of there fairly fast. Naruto groaned at that. Hinata, can you make sure that he goes straight there? Yes, Hokage-sama, she said. As Naruto groaned once more. Is there anything else, Kakashi asks? Actually, yes. Since you awaken a nearly extinct Kekigenkai that hasn't been seen in a while, once you become a Chunin, you'll be able to register you and any family that you might have as a shinobi clan, and you'll be able to enlist to a part of the council. Normally, there will be an investigation for you to take up a membership of the council if you're bringing a new Kekigenkai or person without it, but this is a known record Kekigenkai, which all members of the council already know, so I'm sure they won't be against it, Hiruzen said. As Naruto scratched the back of his head, I'm not so sure, Jiji, he said, a bit nervous. It sounds like a lot of work. Wait, aren't you doing something like that, Yasaka-chan, said Naruto. Yep, she said. I'm in the same boat. The Uzumakis were allies with Konoha, but we never had a council presence here. But now that I'm the last known Uzumaki here, I am doing the same thing. Well, at least we won't be alone now. Did you two forget about us, Yuako said. Me and Hinata will be learning the ropes once we become Chunins as well. We are the 2 heirs of our clan after all. As Yuako was grateful that Sasuke didn't give a damn about hating the family, it would have caused a lot of problem if he did. Well, I think that is enough for today. You 4 head home and relax, Kakashi. If you would go with Zabuza and Haku to T&I. As Kakashi nodded. Before they left, Hiruzen left Naruto one last thing. You may want to practice your signature once again, Naruto Kaguya, he said. As Naruto paused as he thought about it, he never had a family name before. He was always just Naruto. Naruto Kaguya, huh, he said to himself. As he mulled over the name. He might get used to it. Oh yeah, said Kakashi as he reached in his back and pulled out the Raijin. Hiruzen's eyes widened. What should I do with this? Time skip. 1 month later. Oh my kami, this is amazing, said Yuako, as they were currently in Haku and Zabuza's apartment and enjoying Haku's cooking. It was truly divine. Their new neighbor's apartment was very similar to theirs, except for the light blue painting on the wall. Thank you, Yuako-chan. Zabuza-sama can't cook, so someone had to. It has gotten to the point where he will starve if I'm not there to make him something, Haku said. Well, said Naruto with a grin, we're sure happy that you invited us over. None of these girls can even boil water. He smirked as all of them hate him. However, he simply laughed. Your attacks mean nothing to me now, because of my bloodline, he said. I'm invincible, he laughed. He has tweaked his clothing because of his new abilities, as he was now wearing a white, sleeveless, zip-up shirt. Yasaka eye twitched, damn it. Smacking him was the one thing that got him to behave. He let a chuckle, well I'm sure we can find something to do to him later. By the way, Haku-chan, where is Abusa tonight? He went out for a walk. I think he's found a new drinking buddy, other than Kakashi-san. He came back a few nights ago grumbling about her purple hair, snake lady. Sounds like Uncle Sensei. I'm not surprised that she took an interest in Zabuza. She always liked pointy things, and his blade surely counts, said Yasaka. She took a drink. May Kame pity the poor bastard, said Naruto. Uncle Sensei is cool, but she's such a massive flirt. I've seen the most stoic shinobis within Konoha turn into mush around her. As Iwako looked over towards him with a sly smirk. You're just mad because she's always messing with you. It was at that moment Zabuza walked inside. He had since changed his outfit, wearing a standard Konoha uniform, Jonin, with the sleeves shortened. He was also wearing a Konoha headband, with the sword strapped to his back. He took a look around the apartment as his eyes landed on them. Duh, don't you brats have your own place, he said, as he walked over and got himself a plate of food. Of course we do, said Hinata, but Haku-chan cooking is too good to resist. As Naruto asked him how the village has been treating him. Well, the shinobis have been watching him from here to here, and besides other than Kakashi and the snake lady to an extent, the rest didn't want anything to do with him. Not that he cared. Welcome to the club, said Yasaka, as she was the president of that club, and Uncle was a member as well. I know he was one as well. She looked over towards the clock. Oh, I have to get going, she said. She was going to the hot springs. Yuwaka looked at her. The old pervert is back in town, she asked. Yep, and he promised he would teach me something next time he was back, said Yasaka with a grin on her face as she left. Time skip. Jury of the Sun was having a good day, as he's returned back to the village after months away. After reporting back into his sensei, he was now relaxing. His form of relaxing was quite simple. He was in a rather tall tree, scribbling away in his notebook. It seems Kami is on my side today. There are indeed some prime quality females in the hot spring today, he said quietly to himself with a giggle. Oh, today is certainly a great day, he said. I agree. It certainly is. Jiraiya stiffened as he heard the female voice behind him as he knew who it belonged to. He slowly turned to see Yasaka, who he should have been looking for in the first place, was standing there with an evil smirk on her face. Oh, hello Yasaka, he said. How are you today, he asked, in a nervous tone. Her grin just seemed to widen. Oh, I'm doing very good, Erisani, he said. So tell me, what exactly are you going to teach me today? Well, he said, I was going to teach you several quick seal formulas for you to use in combat. From what Sarutobi Sensei told me, you arrive at that level. To what I say is very impressive. You reach a level beyond what I could do at your age. She placed a finger to her chin. That does sound useful, but blatant flattery won't get you anywhere. Anything else, she asks. Jiraiya eye twitched as he looked between Yasaka and the group of women who would enjoy beaten to a pulp if he was found out. I suppose I could be persuaded to teach you the Rasengan. That certainly caught her attention. The Fortikage technique? Interesting. Alright then, I'll meet you at training ground 7 after you recover. Jiraiya was confused as she started to walk away. Recover? Yasaka raised her leg before she brought it down with force, cracking the branch that he was on. Jiraiya's eyes went wide. No, he said to her with pleading eyes. However, her chain shot out, forcing him to jump away, and he jumped right onto the wall. Her chain then shot towards it, forcing him to fall back as he dropped right into the hot springs. Screams could be heard as Jiraiya looked up. Oh shit, he said, as all the women were there, looking down at him. He sighed. Suppose I had this coming, he said. He already knew that he was doomed the moment she found him. As he sighed once more. And they attacked. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, remember to stay in tune for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we leap right out of here, guys? See you guys soon. Peace.